All right, there we go. Start share screen. Share screen. And now we can airplay it. And now we're ready to go.
There we go. Thanks, Marissa.
Thank you, Marissa. Just the whole company. That's all.
Oh, what am I doing? Oh, yeah, I know. Hey, guys, if you don't know, Steve Morales with the Morales team. I wanted to introduce Danny Morale, our fearless leader. And
Tell them what you told me.
oh, okay. Yesterday at our business fundamental, don't feel pressured. At our business fundamentals class, I had a personal breakthrough because we were going over numbers, and that's something that I really was avoiding, even delaying my quarterly review, because quite honestly, the first quarter wasn't what I had projected, and the numbers weren't where I wanted them to be. So instead of looking forward to the next quarter, I personally was beating myself up, letting self-doubt come in. And it was just one of those things that I had to get over it and just keep pushing. I can't change the past, but I can change my actions. So Monica and I really sat down and like, what massive action can we actually do? And so we came up with a game plan that we personally are going to implement. And I'm going to be working with JJ, my accountability coach, to make sure he keeps me on task so that I don't have a bad quarter. So for me personally, it was a great thing. And, for those of you, we're a large company. I know I'm not the only one on that boat. So definitely look at the numbers and face the fact and move past it and apply an action plan to turn it around. So, but so that's my breakthrough. So thank you.
You just have another one by Dean out there.
I'm sweating.
Yes, good. All right, let me see. I want to make sure I can see you guys. Can you guys see me? Or do me a favor, somebody out there, because I don't know why I can't see you guys, but somebody out there text JJ, maybe Zabalza, text JJ, say, yep, everything is good. We can see okay, we can hear okay, so forth and so on. Secondly, there is one thing that there's one thing that will stop all breakthroughs and all abundance in life when you're attending a seminar or a class. You know what that is? Sitting in the freaking back of the room. So I don't know why all of you guys are in the back of the room. Get up here right now. Come on. Look at this. Everybody's in the back. Look at everybody's in the back. And that just bothers me so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys. Oh, you were good? All right, good. Oh, shit. See, Corona, this is the way it's supposed to feel. This is the way it's supposed to be, right? Yes. So anything behind that row back there, that little hallway, you don't need to be behind that hallway, all right? How's everybody doing?
Good.
So, part 2, you guys ready?
Yes.
I've never had more people ask me for the recording or the video of a class. So obviously yesterday was deep. Yesterday really struck a chord. As I was coming over here, I went ahead and I told Lauren to make sure it gets into Intero Sales University. If you don't know what that is, you simply log into Solvus, and there's a tab that says Intero Sales U. And in that Sales U, you know what? Pardon me. There's 2 of them. One of them is for audio and one of them is for videos. And I believe Intero Sales U is the video one. And we will have it uploaded there by the end of the day for sure. Okay. Just to let you guys know, that is getting upgraded as well. We got a lot to talk to you guys about next week, but that is getting upgraded as well. Our online classes and our online video library and training library is going to get updated as well. Here's what I want to do. I think we got another deep one for you guys, and I think it's going to challenge you. And I know yesterday was deep because just a lot of you have been like texting me and messaging me and saying the action steps you're going to take or you're not going to take. I've had people say, I was going to do this and I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to go do this instead, or, I was thinking this way, or I was feeling depressed about this, or just a lot of messages. So for me, that makes me very, very excited and very happy because obviously something happened yesterday to cause some sort of growth inside of yourself, right? And before we get started, I want every office out there, wherever you are, just spend 2 to 3 minutes sharing amongst yourselves and sharing with the neighbor next to you, like where were you challenged the most? And let me give you a little hint. The more vulnerable you are, the more you grow. So look, get the ego out of the way, people. Trust me, the person next to you has their own issues and their own problems and their own drama they're dealing with, right? So the minute you realize that and the minute you stop being Mr. or Mrs. Cool, like you can actually start to grow. You know what I'm saying? So do that. Spend a couple of minutes, please. What was the biggest thing that you got from yesterday? Pick a partner and just start sharing.
I mean, it's pretty much same as you. Looking at something. Oh, so for me, focusing back on goals, breaking things down. What has happened to the house? And then back down to how do I make it done? Oh, I know.
All right, you guys ready? I'm gonna ask, by the way, Corona and Anaheim Hills is here together, so I'm gonna ask them, while you're out there paying attention, do me a favor, please. Text me. Just step out of your box and text me. What was the biggest thing that you got from yesterday? 909-477-7690. And the reason why I want you guys to participate is this. How many of you guys realize that sometimes in life you think you're the only one? Right? You think you're the only one with the issue, or you think you're the only one with the problem, or you think you're the only one thinking the way you think, right? And when you start to realize, guys, that we all deal with this stuff, then you start realizing, oh my God, I'm not by myself. There's other people around me that can probably support me and care about me and that can help me break through from this. Does this make sense? I know I get a little on the cheesy side, but look, I'd rather be cheesy and wealthy than rich, than cool and broke. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather let it all out. I'd rather talk about it. I'd rather at least give myself a fair enough shot to grow. Does this make sense? Yeah. So what big thing you got? What'd you get? Yeah, Bernard.
So focusing on paying my bills,
okay,
versus focusing on just my daily activities so that I can hit my goals.
Yeah.
And everything else will come.
Yeah, so Bernard says, that was a great one. Bernard says, focusing on paying my bills versus let's focus on the daily activities and the daily goals I need to hit. And if I do that, everything else will come. By the way, trip out on this, Bernard. Let's do a little be honest. How long have you had this focus on paying your bills mentality?
Since I got into the business.
Since I got into the business.
Yeah.
And so let's talk a little deeper about this, right? Why do you think that mentality is there? Because there's no guarantee. That's why. There's no guarantee. And so some of us deal really, really badly with the fact that there's no guarantee. Some of us, doesn't bother us as much as others. And some of us have mastered the whole, I don't need a guarantee thing. It's just a mindset. It's just a way of thinking, right? So Bernard, my hope for you would be to see that you can change and impact the way you think about the fact that there's no guarantee. Because like Steven said, look, my numbers were off and I was worried about my numbers, and I just realized yesterday there's nothing I can do about it, so I might as well get to work. There's no guarantee, my man, so there's nothing you could do about it, so instead of worrying about it, you might as well go get to work. Make sense? Who else? Who else? Yes.
What resonated with me was the simplicity of the numbers. When you look at it that way, it's no big deal.
Yeah. So what resonated to me was the simplicity of the numbers. And when you look at it that way, it's no big deal. Guys, I'll tell you, does anybody here have a desire or a goal?
Yes.
Okay. Typically that desire or a goal has something to do with your ability to buy it or achieve it. Yeah? Okay. What happens is we make it such a big deal. And when you actually sit down and look at the numbers, you start to realize, guys, that it's not that big of a deal. It's just a number. Make sense?
Yeah.
Who else? What did you learn? There we go. All right. And let's do play, right? And this is another big one, okay? This is another big one that goes aligned in that. Look, when you really, I say yesterday, it's easy. It's easy. You can do it because, even though you may not think it's easy, guess what? For somebody, it is easy. For somebody, it is easy. So I may at least I can challenge you with the idea that whatever battle you're going through, somebody else has become victorious over, right? So Renee says, this is a big one. Of the millions of people in LA to serve, realistically, I only need to find a good 50 people at a time to do business with.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Like when you look at it that way, that's a lot different than you looking at, oh my God, where am I going to find 50 people? Think about that. The same number, two different ways of looking at it, two different perspectives, as JJ says. And who can pretty much guarantee that you're going to get two different results, yes or no?
Yeah.
Two different activities, yes or no? Two different habits, yes or no? Does this make sense, guys? It's all perspective, right? So today what we're going to talk about, we're going to continue talking about a little bit of what we did yesterday, but today what we're going to talk about is the selfish you. Write that down, the selfish you. The selfish you. A lot of us have a hard time with thinking of ourselves as selfish. By the way, do you think of me as selfish? Am I selfish?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah? Okay, how about in my relationship to you?
No.
Like not at all, right? No?
No.
Okay, let me spin it this way for you. I would never have become who I am today, which allows me to truly help you if I wasn't at some point in time selfish with my desires, my thoughts, my who I surround myself with. That's just the fact of the matter. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take it a step further. I was so selfish with what I listened to, with who I surrounded myself with who I allowed in my life, because I knew I wanted to be here someday. And as a matter of fact, I know where I want to be in the next 20 years. It's not 400 people. It's 4 million people. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to talk to you about how that progression happens. I'm going to talk to you about how you can use these same principles to let's start producing at the highest level pinchy possible. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing stopping us but our relationship to what Renee just said. Where am I going to find 50 people? Or out of the millions out there, all I need is 50, right? So let me show you how I did this, guys. I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples. I want you to write down the best way to help others is to first help yourself. And if somebody could fix the AC, the best way to help others is to first help yourself. Okay? To first help yourself. I think about our incredible attorney, Kristen, right? She's like smart. Like smart, right? And yesterday I met with her and I sat down with her and I said, here, Kristen, here's my problem. What do you do? Okay. And Kristen will go, she'll do the research, she'll prepare for it. Like, I'm not a research guy. I just don't know. My brain doesn't work that way, right? And she'll come back like a month later with a freaking manual of 4,000 pages with the analytics and the breakdowns and everything, right? Well, guess what? She at some point in time had to be very selfish with her time, right? With who she hung out with what she allowed in order to go out and learn how to become this person, which now she is able to go out and help me. Does this make sense? As a matter of fact, you want to make yourself more valuable? Get more selfish. Get more selfish. Like, I know we don't like that word. You know what I'm saying? But really, you want to make yourself more valuable, which value equals more money, more of what you want. Get a little more selfish, right? I'm telling you guys, because some of you guys have relationships with your family where you let people just like, I don't know, break you down. I know we spoke about this before. You know, when you really care about yourself and when yourself is number one, you won't let anybody say anything to you that isn't in complete alignment with what it is that you want. And you will have no problem at all whatsoever with just cutting them. Yes or no? Yes. It's when we're not selfish that when we let these things happen to us. I remember before I was married, this is just the way I thought. I was always just very goal-oriented, and I knew I was going to be married someday, and I knew that what I wanted, I knew how I wanted to have it, and I knew I'd be dating somebody. I'd break up with people like in an hour. No, because why am I going to waste my time? Yeah, like I think before Claudia, the longest relationship I had was like 6 or 7 months. No, it was like 9 months. And before that one, it was like an hour. And the one that was 9 months was the psycho one that I was going to get engaged to. Remember that story?
Yeah.
Don't get engaged to a psycho one. You're screwed. But you know, that's because I see myself as a valuable person and I know exactly what I want. And some of you guys are trapped with people that like, what the hell are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? And don't start messaging me, I'm getting a divorce. I didn't say that. I didn't say any of that. I'm saying like, you know, just really look at your surroundings. Really look at the people you allow in. Really look at the shows you watch. Really look at the things you listen to and really ask yourself, is this helping me grow as a person? You know? Yeah.
So Danny, I was sharing with one of our agents yesterday how 2 years ago you went over this exercise and you literally told us to grab a piece of paper.
Oh yes.
Do you remember that one?
Tell them.
So he told us to grab a piece of paper and draw a line all the way across and a line all the way down. And on one side, all the people that are good for you, your business, your life, and then the other side, all the people that were no good. And literally, once I did the exercise, I realized that 80% of the people
No good.
that was surrounding myself 2 years ago were no good.
And where are you today in comparison to where you were
Oh,
2
yeah,
years
it's
ago?
like, like completely different.
No. Yeah. he doesn't have any friends now. You guys are. But look, let me give you another example. Okay? I'm at the gym today. Okay? And it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I have my goals. I'm a little ticked off, to be honest with you. I've been stuck at like 175.2 for a while, and I want to see 174. I really do. So I worked out twice yesterday. I worked out today, this morning. I'm cutting carbs. I'm not playing. Like, this is, like, I'm determined, right? And I'm in the second row, right? So there's like 7 rows. The class is packed. And I'm in the second row, and in front of me, there's this lady. And the lady, this already irritates me. Like, every movement, you know those people, like, when everybody else is doing like this, they purposefully, like, tie their shoes. Or they purposefully, like, go get a glass of water. Or they purposefully ask for, like, help with their shoulder. Like, you're just avoiding the work. Right? Well, this time she had her other little purposeful person, her little buddy next to her. And guess what they start doing the whole time? Talking. They talked. Picture 60 people in a room working out with the 2 people in the middle just talking back and forth. No, that's not what's worse. What's worse is that everybody else saw it and just took it. And just accepted it. The leader of the class took it. The person to their left took it. The person to their right took it. So I decided I'm going to be a little bit selfish. I'm going to let these people know that what they're doing is not good. So I pick up my dumbbells. They start talking. I turn my back to them. I hear them stop talking. I put it back. They would start exercising, which, by the way, they didn't do all the right exercises because everything is always hurt with these people. Yes or no? Something is always wrong, right? So when everybody else is doing these, they can't do these, so they're doing these. You know, and when everybody's doing these, they can't do those, so they're doing it. It's all BS. It's all in the head, right? So sure enough, they'd stop talking. What would I do? No, I would just turn around. I'm not going to look at it. I'm just not going to look at it. I'm facing everybody, right? And I think they got the picture. But even if they didn't, it doesn't matter. I will not allow mediocrity in my life. I don't want it. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but I don't want it. Does this make sense, guys? So the best way to help others is to first help yourself. Let me give you a couple of examples, okay? The way I look at goals and the way I look at achievement of goals is there's 3 categories. And if you want, draw yourself out a little diagram like this. First, at the top, there is now. There are things we need to handle now. And now doesn't have to be like today, right now. Now could be like by the end of the year. Like, that's now. That's my focus from now to the end of the year. I got to go get that accomplished. Sound good? Yeah? Okay. Second column, there is the near future. So what could near future be? Edgar, what do you think? How many years away?
1 to 5 years.
Yeah, like 1 to 4, 1 to 5, even near future. Like somewhere in the near future, I gotta go get this handled. Sound fair? And then the last column is the future. The future. By the way, Platinum VIP is completely sold out for Relentless. I'm really excited about that because I'll be honest with you guys. You guys don't know this because I don't let you know this, but for a while there's like 1,000 tickets, and we were like at 300 tickets. And 300 tickets, there's like 300 of us. So that doesn't even really count. So we just climbed the 600 mark. The Platinum VIPs are sold out. We're selling like 20 tickets a day. It's really getting excited. And then I got people messaging me, hey, can I get a Platinum VIP? Can I get a Platinum? It's too late, yeah. Okay. So let me give you an example. Example number 1, I got to be able to afford my own place. Enough is enough. Stop the BS. Come on, man, grow up. I got to be able to afford my own place. And this is a real life example because listen to me, there was a time the year prior to me starting Antero, I could not afford my own place. I couldn't. I was living with my mom. I was at the downstairs of her little place. The babies were small. You guys have heard this story. I couldn't afford it. I'll just be honest with you. And when I finally started thinking, I said, okay, I just went back to all of the goals and all of the processes that I had taught myself as an agent. And I said, all right, come on, back to normal. Okay, what's step number one? Okay, for crying out loud, just afford your own place. And then you see what you do, guys, is this. You put everything on the line for that goal. You go all, you want to start living life? You want to start really excelling? You learn to go after a goal with everything you got, and then you get it. And guess what you do? Take a nice little deep breath, and you go for the next one. Because you see, our situation was so bad, I couldn't even afford rents. Nobody would rent me anything, right? That's how bad it was. So I knew, like, man, that's step number one, right? Now, step number one, I hung there for a little bit, right? About 1.5 years to 2 years. And then we started thinking about buying our own home. Near future, right? Near future. I happen to love to accelerate everything, right? So we actually started looking. And when we started looking, that's when we started realizing that there just wasn't anything out there compared to like what it is that we wanted. So that if you ask me now, how did I go from not affording rent to my dream house in 7 years? I just skipped the middle part. And I went step number 3, dream home. But you know how I was able to do that? Because I was able to say, afford my own place. I was able to look my wife in the eye and I was able to tell her, look, within the next 6 months, it's done. And then I got it done in 4 months. So you know what kind of, listen to me, people. That's what I'm telling you. Stop with all this. I'm going to close 50 deals this year and you've never closed 10. So why do you do that to yourself? That doesn't make any sense. That is not smart being a human 101. That's like setting yourself up to fail every single year. Why do you play these games with yourself? That's why I say, if you've never hit 10, you go after 10 with everything you have. And you, like Will Smith said one time, I'll never forget this. He said, I will die before somebody beats me. Sometimes that somebody is yourself. Make sense? I'll give you a second example. No more auto problems. Look, you're a sales professional, right? The sales business as it is an emotional business. As it is, you're going to have your ups and downs. As it is, you're going to go through stuff. On top of that, you're going to add the fact that you're driving a little clunky old thing that's going to give you auto problems guaranteed at least 3 times a year. Why would you do that to yourself? Does that make any sense? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So then what do? Okay, that's it. My little now thing, from now till the end of the years, that's it. I'm fed up. No more auto problems. Because the only reason you accept auto problems is because in your brain, you feel like you can't do anything about it. I'm here to tell you, you can. And you quite honestly can as fast as you'd like to. If you shift your focus, and if you know what to focus on, and if you know what baby steps to go out and hit. Now is like the baby step. Now is like the proof to yourself. Does this make sense, guys? All right, the near future is, okay, all right, I fixed that. Okay, now let me get myself something like really reliable, something really stable, right? Something nice, something that'll make me feel good, right? You hear me speak all the time about protecting your state. Sometimes driving a nice car it's not about what other people think. It's not about any of that. It's about making sure that your state is phenomenal. That's why I get my car washed twice a week. That's why I get my hair cut every week. And when I don't, I feel nasty. Nasty. All these little pelitos start popping up here, right over here. My neck gets all itchy. Who knows what I'm talking about? Yeah, I don't want to deal with looking at that. Listen to me. I don't even want to deal with going like this. That's why I wear a custom shirt. It's not because of what I want people. It's not because of anything. It's because I don't want anything to get in my way of becoming who I know I can become. Because if I cannot become who I know I need to become, then I cannot help others become what they are supposed to become. And that's like my life's mission, basically. Make sense? Michelle.
Danny, I wanted to add something to this. I'm living this part right now. Somebody hit my car and totaled it.
Okay.
It's still
Michelle
drivable.
says, I'm living this right now. Somebody hit it and totaled it.
Totaled it, but it's still drivable, but I don't have the money for the total yet. So I can't go out and buy another car yet. And honestly, I'm like embarrassed to go show property.
So Michelle says, okay, so listen. So let me tell you how I would handle this. So Michelle says, I'm living through this. Okay, look. By the way, you love being embarrassed.
I guess I do
because you're not doing anything about it.
Yeah. No,
So-
I've been on the phone like.
No. Listen to me. No. Okay, good. I'm glad this came up. Here we go. Michelle's car got totaled. It's still drivable. So she's like driving and it's like, you know, falling apart. Right? And as a result of all of that, she feels embarrassed. She doesn't want to get out of the car. And she feels even worse when she's out there showing clients to her properties, which means what? Is she going to avoid that? Yes or no? Yes, absolutely she is. Which is that going to cost her money? Yes or no?
Yes.
Which if it's costing money, would it make her feel bad? Yes or no?
Yes.
Which if she doesn't hit her goals, will she feel bad? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and then this is the worst part. Michelle thinks she can't do anything about it. Because what did she just say? She's waiting for the money from the insurance company. And then I say, look I'm teaching you human beings 101. Look at how we think. And then I say, Michelle, but why don't you just go get it fixed? I say, no, you love being embarrassed. She goes, no, I don't. I'm calling them every day. I go, oh, yes, you do. Because you're waiting for somebody else to free you from your issues. 2 solutions. Number 1, go rent a car for the next month. But what does the brain say? Oh, well, how much is that going to cost me? You know what's costing you? It's driving around in a freaking putt-putt, right? That's falling apart. It's costing you misery. It's costing you anxiety. It's costing you your ability to go sell more house. Do the math. What's really costing you is driving in that piece of crap right now.
It is, and I feel it.
Yeah, but you don't mind it. Do you understand what I'm trying to get at, people?
Yes.
You understand what I'm trying to get at, right? Example 3. Now, number 1 in the city. Man, that's all I wanted. That's all I want for all of our offices, right? And when I was the lead coach of Rancho, that's all I want. Number 1 in the city, number 1 in the city, number 1 in the city, number 1 in the city. That's now. Now. Maybe for you, it's number 1 on this side of the office. Sometimes that's what's great about working out in groups. Because who's ever worked out in a group and there's somebody right in front of you? What does it force you to do? Just let me go catch that one person. Just let me go that one person, right? And then what do? You go and you get the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. But you can't get the number 1 guy or gal if you don't take down the one right in front of you. So maybe for you, it's whatever it is. You understand what I'm telling you? Then in the near future, it became number 1 in the MLS, which we're like battling right now. Battling. It's like back and forth. We're between first, second, and third. First, second, and third. First, second, and third. And then in the future, it's number 1 in the state. Whichever everything goes well, next year we'll crack the top 20. I mean, this is like a big deal. But watch this. Do you understand the fact that in the time we went from number 1 in the city to number 1 in the MLS to number 1 in the state? Do you realize that there's people that in that same time haven't done jack? Why? Because they don't think like this. They haven't learned how easy it is to make themselves a little baby goal, go out and crush that one, put all your energy into that one, and then go out, take a deep breath, and do what? Go out and get another one. Go out and get another one. Does this make sense, guys?
Yes.
And why don't they? Because of what we learned yesterday. Because everyone's busy trying to pay their bills. Once you get that your bills are nothing. You know what your bills are? Your bills are Michelle's beat up car. And you're letting them control you. When you shouldn't. Because when you do the math, how many closings will it take you every month to live happily ever after and buy investments and everything? It's nothing. It's nothing. For most of us, it's like 2. You want to go do 8 open houses a month and go prospect 2 hours a day. You'll do it. Matter of fact, you don't have to prospect 2 hours every day. You can do prospect 2 hours every 3 days out of the week. It's so simple, people. So simple. I want to give a shout out to my man, Juan. This you got to see. You remember a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Remember a couple of weeks ago, I was on the camera in Oxnard, and I told you guys, like, I love this guy because, like, for a year, I saw him struggle. And, you know, I worry about you guys. Trust me. I know what you're going through, even though you don't know what I'm going through. I could see it in your face. I could see it in your energy, right? And this guy, I would see his worry, and I would see his, but I also saw, like, he never stopped showing up. He would always just show up. Every single day, show up. No matter what. Every single day, show up, right? And so, you know, I got a hold of him the other day, and I started asking him about his auto problems. And remember what happened? His clutch kept going out. Well, he sends me and Louis a picture. No more clutch problems. Let's send him a round of applause.
Yeah, give it up.
Isn't that awesome?
Love it.
Isn't that awesome? You gotta love that, guys. You absolutely gotta love that, right? It makes me so happy. So, guys, listen. We talk about what? Talk about being coachable. Oh, talk about being coachable. Guys, the basics in life aren't motivating enough. Write that down. You need more. You need more. The basics in life are not motivating enough. By the way, I got really jealous because all you fools were taking pictures of Jason's slides and posting them on Facebook, and nobody ever took any pictures of my slides. So somebody out there better take a freaking picture of my slide and post it on Facebook, all right? I'm just letting you know that right now. You notice how we stepped up? I'm not going to let Jason be a better presenter than me. I'm not going to let that happen, right? Did he do a great job or what? He did an incredible job. The basics in life aren't enough, people. They're not motivating enough. You need more. You need more, right? And so, like, Bernard, when you think about what you said, it's like you're just so focused on the basics, survival. We can all survive. Let's start focusing on more. Let's start focusing on what we really want to achieve. Because then you'll start noticing this business is just the vehicle to help you achieve everything that you want to achieve. Make sense, guys? In order to need more, right? In order to need more, because I said you need more. In order to need more, you first must accept more. You first got to accept it, guys. You got to accept that more is, number one, possible. Possible. How many of you can think of at least one family member right now that you know they don't even think it's possible? Raise your hands. Oh, look at it. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I know that, right? Can I give you a little hint? In some way, shape, or form, we aren't all that removed from that person. Like, your goal in life should be to distance yourself. Look at it this way, right? To distance yourself as much as you can from that type of thinking. That's the type of thinking. That's the type of thinking that you know, oh, nah, right? All right, well, let me challenge you. How far away are you from that thinking? How much have you pushed your limits? How much have you pushed yourself to see what is really possible? Number two, you got to believe that more is available. Available. I talked to some people, and it's almost as if they cannot in their minds see that it's even available for them. If you've ever heard my story, like I seriously remember watching Beverly Hills 90210 when I was 18 years old. I'm not lying. And I seriously remember, I used to think, you know what, I'll take it even a step further. I remember watching the Fonz. Remember the Fonz? And he always had like the cool car. And my brain always used to think, even as a little kid, why can't I have that? You know, I hated it. I was in high school. I lived in the Jackson Street apartments. I'd have to walk. I was embarrassed. So because like my mom couldn't afford to give me money for lunch, and I sure as hell wasn't going to sit in the WIC line, whatever the line was with the free food. I at least had some pride. I wasn't going to do that. So honest to God, I'm remembering this right now. I was such a great salesperson. I would just ask for money. And I would just get money and I'd raise like $2. This was every single day. Every single day. I would just raise money, prospect, get $2. And then I would go out and buy myself. There was these little cheeseburgers. I remember them. They were so freaking good. They were like 99 cents and a little drink. And then I got smart. Okay, look, I'm from the hood, so I have to do what I have to do. So then I got smart and I started realizing that I'd have to walk to school for 40 minutes. On the way there was a supermarket. Don't get mad at me. It's just, I was a kid. There was a supermarket. It was Alpha Betas. Remember Alpha Betas? They're out of business now, right? I think I helped put them out. But true story, I just figured out that at the mornings of Alpha Betas, everybody would all the workers would be in the back. Nobody would be in the front. So me and my friends Pookie and Dookie, I'm not lying. I am not lying. Their friends were Pookie and Dookie. I am not, ask Anthony, I am not lying to you. It was Pookie, Dookie, and Shelton. I guarantee you they're either dead or in jail. I'm just guaranteeing that. So me, Pookie, Dookie, and Shelton, right? I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. Pookie, Dookie, and Shelton would go walk the outside. I would be the one, because I was the most courageous one, and I'd have a hood. You know your sweater with the hood? Yeah. Well, I'd take the hood off, and then I don't know which one it was. I think it was Dookie, because he was the smallest one. Dookie would grab the candies and put them in my hood, and then we'd walk out. And then we'd start selling candies for 10 cents. And then I took it a step further, and I started realizing that everybody would want to do pencil fighting. Remember pencil fighting? Yeah. So I started pencil fighting, and then I would go out and we'd go to the pencil aisle, because the pencil aisle, you could sell each pencil for 50 cents instead of 10 cents. So then we would just fill up the back of the hood with the pencils, and we'd go out and say, hey, I'm a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Right? You got to start somewhere. But listen, what I'm trying to get at is you got to realize that more is available. Look, if anything, not when you steal it, though. Not when you steal it. If anything, look, if anything, if you look back to that, at least I wasn't accepting of where I was. Like, I wanted to do something about it, whether it was wrong or what. All right, let's go to the next slide. Next.
What do they call you?
You got me, I'm Danny. No, I'm Danny. Next, number 4, I think you got to realize that more is meant for you. You got to realize that more is meant for you. Hey, you guys just learned about my friends Pookie and Dookie.
More is possible. What was one after that?
More is possible.
More is available.
More is available. And more is meant for you. Because it's the same thing that Renee said, right? It's the perspective of things. If you don't believe that it's possible, if you don't believe that it's available, and if you don't believe that it's meant for you, guess what? You're just like the person that says, oh my God, 50 people, where am I going to find them? Versus the person that says, there's millions of them. 50? Pfft, easy. Different perspective, right? Change the way you look at things. Bernard, by the way, you know what's kind of crazy? I can pretty much guarantee you, like, you're going to quadruple your business because you're getting it. Like, you're getting it. You're getting it, okay? Can you just do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you not be the one that we help quadruple their business and in 24 months you come at me for 105% because Realty One tells you, and then you go to Realty One, then you go backwards in life, and then your ego tells you that you know you should be over here. But can you not do that, please?
I already did it.
I know you did it. Okay, good. Oh, yeah, you did it. Yeah, he already did that. He learned this lesson. He came back. All right, good. All right, good. He's back. He already did. That's right. All right, so you guys ready? Now, this is for you. Now, look, Corona, I want you guys to see this. Here's what we're going to do. We have a chart, as you guys can't see the screen. And I'm going to give you categories on the left. And you're going to identify what is your now, what is your near future, and what is your future. Sound fair? Good? All right. Everybody else out there, by the way, if you have questions, you shouldn't, but let's rock and roll. Okay. Number 1, on the left-hand side, write down home. 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 And then in the top 3, there are 3 categories. Now, near future, and future. By the way, some of you, I'm just trying to get you to think. Some of you, you don't have a now. Some of you, for your now, you're like, I'm kind of cool there. This one isn't really for me. That's okay. Just play along with it. Okay. So your now. What is your now? Is it for home, for your for your personal home, right? Like some of you, unfortunately, maybe you're not on your own. So then I would say mine now by the end of the year is to get out on my freaking own. And I'm just going to put everything on the line, and that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm not going to focus on my bills. I'm not going to focus on my rankings. I'm not going to focus on anything. That. And in order to achieve that, I need this amount of pending income, and then I'm going to look at my dashboard every month and do what Danny taught me yesterday. And if I do that, I'll get that. And I'll be happy, and then I'm ready to come after it, and I'll really go after my near future goal for my home in the next 2 to 3 years. So what is your near future goal in your home? You know, maybe for some of us, it's like, man, you know, okay, I'm renting a place right now, but man, I'd really like to own a home. All right, do the math. It's not as big as you think it is. So then that's, okay, well, beautiful. Thank you for your help. Somebody just said, okay, number 3, future, my goal is to pay mine off. Okay, so this is what I want to try to get at. We're all at different places in life. She just said, no, I want to pay it off now. Do you know how incredible you would feel if you got that done or when you got that done? So why not put all your energy, put a timeline behind it, do the math behind it, understand what it would take, and make that your everything. Maybe for you, your near future is to rent that one out. You know what I'm saying? Because you proved to yourself that you can do it and go get yourself something a little bit nicer in a better area. Now we're talking, people. See, now you start becoming the person that easily sells 30 to 50. But first, you got to go handle this now issue. You got to go prove to yourself that what you think about, you manifest. Because if not, I could say that all day long and it's going to go whoop, whoop, and you ain't going to grow. That's not what we're here for. Okay? Second row, auto. Love it, Judy. Auto. So in auto, what is your now? Michelle? You know where your now is, right? Whatever it is, get out of that situation today, right now. Do you know, look. Okay, ready? Let's pretend Michelle goes to Hertz or wherever it is, or goes and buys the car, and then later when she gets the money, pays it down, whatever it is. But let's say Michelle goes out today. By the way, the problem with this message is now you got the pressure. So let me teach you how to grow. Today, you need to go take action steps. Because if you do today, regardless of the result, you'll say to yourself and you'll reinforce in your brain, oh my gosh, I can go out and I can go do it. I can go accomplish it. Make sense? And that's a victory. That's a mental victory. The mental victory is what we're after, right? Yet, Michelle, let me warn you, because I love you and I want you to do the best. The problem with this message is if you don't go do something about it, you're going to reinforce Michelle does not do anything about what she learns. I'm just being honest with you. That's the scary part about what we do here. We're going to expose you to what you got to go handle. And then you got to go handle it. Even if it's in a small way, because little by little, that reinforcement is going to happen, and little by little, this will start changing. So auto near future. What is your near future for your auto, right? And then auto for the future. For the future, maybe that's like a dream car. Maybe that's an RV for your family. Maybe that's a jet. Kind of interesting. Like every time I see a jet landing in Ontario Airport, like I just stop and I look at it and I just envision myself landing in Ontario Airport in my jet. And then I started watching the show recently that's called Buying Jets, or what was it called? No, Selling Jets. Selling Jets. And I also watched Selling Yachts because I want a jet and a yacht. Why the hell not? That makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. All right. Next row, number 3. And I want you guys working during this, like really, like this is for you. You challenge you right now. You think clothes, your clothing. You know, for some of us, hey, it's okay. Maybe it's just, I need that one suit, that one shirt, that one Showtime tie, that one thing. I remember back when I was young, I remember being at NTC. NTC changed my life forever.
I didn't remember these places.
NTC, I was 17 years old. I used to live in Rialto, California. Me and my buddy, we were scheming up every way possible to make some money and change our lives. NTC was National Telephone and Communications. NTC was out in Irvine, California, right? And we would go drive out to Irvine every single day, and we would go out, and this guy, you ever hear me say, become a warrior for your family? That's where I got it from, because some guy there, the one that won the Mercedes or whatever, he said, and I just always remember that. I just always remember that. And I remember at NTC, the big deal was a Versace tie. So guess what I wanted? A Versace tie. I'm going to get me a Versace tie. Like, I don't care how I get me a Versace tie. So I used that, and I went out and I worked so hard just to be able to buy myself a Versace tie. You need something, people. You need something. I don't care what it is. So for clothing, right? I remember when I got into real estate, there was a Hugo Boss store. It's probably still there at the Ontario Mills Mall. It's still there. The Hugo Boss store at the Ontario Mills Mall. And I would just go in there and I started with one. And they're not that bad. Like, you make them bad. They're not that bad. You know how much a custom suit will cost you guys? $400. Stop. Like, what are you doing? You go to Men's Warehouse to save $99? Or you can get yourself a custom one for, isn't it weird? So weird the way we do this, right? It's so weird, right? So then maybe your near future is, maybe you want 5 custom suits, one for every day of the week.
I want a stylist.
Okay. Why the hell not? She says, I want a stylist. I want a stylist. I want them to do the shopping for me. Why not? Be a little selfish. It's okay. Do you know what that would do for your subconscious and how that would make you feel? It would make you feel incredible. Incredible. Claudia always tells me, you know, and I always, you gotta understand, like, I help you guys. I also gotta help Claudia, right? And she's come a long way. But, you know, Claudia looks at J-Lo. And she, like, loves J-Lo. She loves J-Lo, right? So the way I think, I go, all right, babe, bet. She says, what? We'll be having dinner with J-Lo in the next 4 years. She goes, how? Don't worry about how. You let me take care of that. We'll be having dinner with J-Lo. We're going to be so important in this world that somehow that's going to manifest and that's going to happen. That's the way I play the game. And she's like, nah. She's kind of learned to not do that. It's just that she thinks that is just so, like, out there. I mean, if you want it to be, it is. But if you don't, then it's not. Production. Oof. Production. Because this is what's going to help you get all of that. What is your now for production? Now. Like enough is enough. I'm going to put the pressure on myself. I'm going to go give it my all. I'm going to go sweat, bleed, and shed tears. I'm going to go do whatever it happens to go out and hit this goal. By the way, can I give you a little tip on this? Make it something realistically attainable. Realistically attainable. Because I'd much rather you hit something that was a little smaller than always be fighting for this, like, someday missing carrot. No, it's no problem with thinking about that, making that your future goal, right? Like, I'll tell you, like, Cirilo Ortiz. Cirilo Ortiz has always, since the first day he came to us, I want 100. I want 100. I want 100. 100 deals a year. 100 deals a year, right? And every year he would say 100 this year. I say, no, Cirilo, not 100 this year. Let's get like 50. And then let's get like 60. I was on my coaching appointment with him. He's on track for like 85 this year. So next year, 100 is coming. You know what that does for me? Now I can really start coaching you. Okay, here's what you need. Here's what you're going to be thinking about. Here's what you need. Here's what, right? Because that's a whole different world. He's on track for like $850,000 in commissions. Let's send him a round of applause. And by the way, talk about a guy, true story, talk about a guy who was the king of Fuchi face. You know what Fuchi face is? Cirilo, everything was. But now you see him, how do you see him? Smiles, sass, wants to help everybody, making videos, sharing. Yes or no? See, that's a transformation, but that transformation comes with going through these processes that we teach you, right? So production, what's your now? What's your now? What do you got to achieve now, this year? Put the pressure on yourself. Make it happen. Make it achievable. Don't make it so easy that you know you're going to get it. Make it a little bit of a stretch. You can do it. Or production, what's your near future? And for production, what's your future? 5 years from now, 7 years from now. Because by the way, you want to get your now done quicker? Start thinking about your future. And the last one is net worth. Net worth. And guys, look, these are just 5 categories that I picked. You could put relationships. You could put weight. You could put, I don't know, health. Whatever you want. You can do this for anything. And this is what I want to tell you. For some of you guys, you don't have an issue with some of these. That's okay. Pick yours. But pick something that's going to inspire you to go out and work at the level that you need to work. Will cause you to get so serious about your business that you'll actually look at the dashboards. That you actually study them. You'll actually care about them. You know? Does this make sense, guys? You need something in your life that you're shooting for, that you're striving for. If not, life is just going to keep going by and you're just going to keep staying stuck. Net worth. Same thing. Now, near future, future. I remember, I'll end with this. I remember when it came to net worth, I remember going to an event and I was making some serious money. And I thought I was Mr. Hotshot. And I never knew what net worth was. And, somebody challenged me, and you know who it was? It was Robert Allen. Remember Robert Allen and Mark Victor Hansen? I went to one of their events, and they taught us how to figure out their net worth, which is just assets minus liabilities. And at the time, my net worth was negative $35,000. That means if I died, I had to pay someone 35 grand before I could die in peace, basically. I never realized it was that bad. So I said, nope. You see, now look, by that time, I was 4 years into the game. Achieving the now stuff was a lot easier for me. You see the video when I spoke to Robert and Dannon, and I was like, it's easy now because I paid the price. Because I've learned to train my brain to go out and target certain things, achieve them, and go out and achieve a little bit more. Right now it's the pool. The pool in the backyard. Well, that's going to be done in 3 weeks. I already know if I don't push for something else, I'm going to get stagnant pretty quick. So I need to push for something else. Make sense? And right now, and listen, to be honest, when it comes to the house and the pool, that's been like a 7-year journey. Honestly, material stuff, I don't really want anything more. Now it's all about buying. I want to own every house and every commercial building there is out there now. Now that I got that out of the way. But you see, you can't ever get that done if you first don't get some of these things handled. Like I needed my family and myself. I needed myself to drive up somewhere, and I'm not the kind of guy that thinks of someday owning a damn gate with a beautiful driveway, with a beautiful custom home where my kids can. No, I want it. Vámonos. The hell am I waiting for? Let's go. So this process I'm teaching you, listen to me, you can use this process to 7 years from now that you won't even recognize yourself. You won't even recognize yourself. But you got to start today, guys. Got to start today. Okay? Questions? Comments? Yeah, you guys good? Learned a lot? Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay. Class dismissed. This one will also be recorded. And yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm gonna ask you guys. I'm gonna share something with you guys. I just want to remind you guys. Hold on. How do you stop the recording? Oh, stop recording.